access the IRB site on Canvas, you click on Courses on your dashboard, and you go to All Courses. You scroll until you find the Institutional Review Board course. On this page, you will go down and go to the Training, Presentation, and Quiz Instructions. This is going to help you go through the training that you have to for your human subjects, and you will click on this to get your instructions. You then go to Next, and you can watch this PowerPoint. You can watch it here, or you can download it to watch it. And then after that, you then have to take the quiz. It says 10 out of 15. That's what you have to have. After you take the quiz, that's all you have to do on that. I'm going to go back to the home page. Then to find the IRB proposal and submit it, you're going to go here where it says IRB Policy and Proposal Form, and you're going to select that. And then you're going to click here to download it, and it will download it into a Word document. So now let me show you how to fill out the actual IRB proposal that you will be turning into the IRB. So you're going to download the document, and this is downloaded into Word, but you can also upload it into Google Docs or whatever you want to use. And you're going to start out by scrolling down. There's a lot of information here that's very useful. However, you're not required to read it. I've pretty much already gone through a lot of that with you all in class. You're going to go down to page 5, and this is where you're going to start. So you're going to fill this form out. First of all, you are the project director, so you put your name here. A department, you can put graduate education, put your phone number that you can be reached at, and the title of your research proposal. This is your research title that you put on your slides or your poster. The starting date can be now, it'd be fine. The expected completion date, I would put the end of school or maybe middle of December or something, or if this is a spring semester, middle of May or whatever. So you don't have to be exact, in other words. You have no source of funding, so you can put not applicable there. Under the estimated number of human subjects, this is an estimated number, so take your best guess here. Characteristics of the subjects, and this says check as many boxes as appropriate. So if you are doing research with minors, kids under 18 or 18 and under, then you would click under 18. I'm sorry. Then you would click here. If it's going to be adults, you would click here, and you can click more. And then one, if you have elementary school students, secondary school students, college students, disabled people, okay, and you click there. And review requested, you're going to always check the exempt. We're hoping that we will all be approved under exempt. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means in just a few minutes. You have not done a similar research protocol, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to continue to go down. Consent obtained from individuals. And so if it was somebody that was 18 or over, that would be individual. If there are not 18 or older, you also have to get legally authorized representative. So that would be the parent or guardian. And so you would choose that. And the method of presenting information on which to base the informed consent. You're all going to say written because we're going to send letters. And if you were to do a survey and you wanted to put the letter at the first page of the survey, you could definitely do that as well. If you had little bitty kids who could not write their names, you could do an oral presentation and get their consent that way. Typically, we do a letter of assent, and we somehow have the kids, they'll sign their name if they can write their name, and if they can't, then the teacher will write their name in their presence or something like that. So that's how we do that. Then this is the information that's going to include about your study, and you're going to be answering pretty much all these questions. You can just type them right here, or you can create another document and type them in that document. It's totally up to you. Then you're going to go down here to the next page, and you're going to sign and date, and this can be an electronic signature. It's fine. And then after you upload this to Canvas for me, for my class, then I'm also going to read it and make sure I think that it's going to fly from the IRB. And if I think it will, then I'm going to also sign and date it electronically. And that will mean that I have approved it as well. And that's all you do on this page. Then you're going to continue to go down to the review category form, and you're going to choose this application for exempt review. And then it says check all categories that apply. So for example, most of y'all are doing some kind of a survey or questionnaire, and you're definitely going to check this one. Research involving survey or questionnaire procedures where responses are not linked to the participant. And this is the key part for all of this exempt. The procedures or the data, these responses, are not linked to the participant. So that's what we're going to create, like pseudonyms, or we're going to create IDs and get rid of the names. And so we're going to really try to go for that. And so all of these are going to be like that. Like if you're going to do observations with teachers, but once again, we're not going to link to their identity, you're going to click that one. As well, you're not going to be doing this one. You're not going to be collecting specimens or something like that. But you might be collecting existing data, or documents, records, stuff like that. Because, like, let's say you were using test scores from last year, and then you were going to compare them to test scores this year. So once again, you're not going to publicly say this is Joe Smith's test scores. You're going to code this data so that when you actually do your analysis and your reporting, they're not going to be linked to any particular kid or person. And if that's the case, then that is an exempt review. Educational tests. There's educational tests specifically right there. And then same thing, it would be existing data, educational tests. And then also this one right here, research conducted in an established or commonly accepted educational setting and involving normal educational practices. This covers you, for example, if you're doing, you're teaching a lesson and you're doing a pre-test and a post-test, and you would have done it anyway, right? Because it's what you do as a teacher, and you're doing this for students. And so that would also help us to get an exempt review. But once again, we're not going to link the students' responses in any way to their identities. So hopefully we can all go for exempt review, all of you, for your studies. And that's what we're going to start for. What might happen is that the IRB might look at your proposal and say, no, that's going to be expedited. No big deal. We're just going to have to maybe do some extra stuff to, either make the case, no, it's really not, it's really should be exempt, or that's okay, we'll go with it and we'll do an expedited. It just takes a little longer typically for expedited because more people have to review it. So, and we will not get a full review on any of ours. So then you just keep scrolling down. The other thing that is down here that you will need to see, and I'm sorry this is taking so long, let's just keep scrolling down, there's a lot of stuff here. At the end of this document are some sample informed consent forms. I've also included these in a Google Doc that I will give you the link for. And for example, this is a sample letter of consent for a parent or guardian. And I've taken this letter and I've also fixed it so it can be used for a teacher. And I've I will give you that link on Google and put it in Canvas for you. But this is what a letter would look like. And this is a sample letter of assent. That's something that you would give or read to a child if you were doing research with children. And so what you can do when you get ready to submit this form is you can get rid of everything that you don't use and you can insert the things you do use. So, for example, all those the information about the instructions, you don't need that. So you can delete that kind of thing. You really just need the information about the study and the kind of review you're doing and the signature pages. And then you will also include your letters of consent. You'll include what one's going to look like, and if you have assent because you have children that you're studying, you'll have that letter in there too. And then it never also hurts to if you have one of your survey, if it's ready or if something close to it's ready, and you can include that as well. We will definitely want to do that. And that's how you prepare the IRB form. Then the other form that you have to fill out is the IRB submission checklist. This is just a way for you to double check that you've included everything. So you will fill out the principal investigator, once again that's you, the title of your project, and my name is the name of the instructor. Then you're going to submit this to me. Before you submit it to me in Canvas, you're going to go in and you're going to just put your initials for everything that you've done. This tells you, for example, how to name your file. And then if this is going to tell you about that you're going to go through and you're going to have answered the questions, and you're going to be able to put NA if the question does not apply to your project. And then this says that you've selected either exempt or expedited, and we're going to go for exempt, remember, so that's what we're going to hope for right there is exempt. And this just talks about how that you're using that description for all those the different areas that you have to talk about on page 6. And notice this says the description should be written in future tense and any citations provided should adhere to APA. I'm going to highlight that for you. So this is what I'm going to do, not what I've done. All right? That's how you're going to write the IRB proposal. Then you have attached the informed consent and assent forms correctly, which those are the letters that you're going to be using. And then you fully described your research and your data collection instruments, okay? So these are survey observations and interviews. So you're going to put that up in the information that you put in those Roman numerals. And as attached all instruments mentioned in the data collection. So for example, once I said earlier, you're going to put your survey in there. If you have an observation protocol or some kind of a rubric that you're going to use, you would put that in there. If you had your research or your questions for your interviews, you'd put those in there. We might not have everything exactly like you're going to use it, but we're going to try to put as much of that information in here as possible. Worst case scenario, they'll kick it back at us and they'll say, well, we need more information, and then we'll just update it. But we're going to hope that they will take what you have. Then we can make some changes if we need to, after we submit it. But this is just at this point, this is what we're going to be submitting. And we're going to put that in there as well in the IRB proposal. We're going to talk about how the data will be stored and or destroyed once the project is complete. And you're going to make sure that you have proofread everything for grammatical errors, unexplained acronyms. So when you use NTI, they won't have any idea what NTI means. So you're going to need to put non-traditional instruction or online or blended instruction. And also if there's any kind of other tests that you're talking about, or anything like IEPs, they don't know what IEPs are. So we don't want to use any of that jargon here. We want to actually go ahead and spell these things out at least the first time so that they'll understand what these mean. And I would suggest that you actually have somebody read through your IRB proposal. I will read through it as well, but it'd be a lot quicker if you would have somebody who's really good at proofreading to read through it first, make your changes, and then give it to me, and so that I can proofread it as well, because we want to make a good impression on the IRB. So you're going to sign, put your initials all these places after you've done them. That I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to put my initials that you've done them. So we're going to have a double check here. And then you will submit that along with the IRB proposal to the IRB site. And of course, that's after you have submitted it to Canvas and I have had a chance to check it.